Look, I'm going to be very frank with you. You're not broke because you're not talented, not hardworking enough, or not smart enough. You're broke because no one ever sat you down and explained how to make money in a way that actually makes sense. Nobody handed you the playbook. I'm going to give you the playbook now. I'm challenging you to make $100,000 before 2026. That gives you about 6 months to achieve it. Now, to do this, you don't need a fancy background. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to understand what I'm about to tell you. And most importantly, you have to actually do something with it. Because let me be real with you for a second. Most people won't make it. Not because they can't, but because they won't do what it takes, or they will do it, but not long enough to succeed. Most people dabble. They try one thing for 2 weeks, and then they quit, and then jump onto the next shiny idea. They're constantly switching paths and starting over. I used to be like that too, so I know exactly what it feels like. It's horrible. You feel stuck. You trick yourself into thinking you're doing research, or you're just thinking about it, creating some kind of elaborate strategy in your mind, but in reality, nothing is happening. You're just spinning your wheels and wasting your time. So most people spend more time watching videos, reading posts, and buying new self-help books than actually doing the work. They stay stuck in what I call consumer mode. Always watching, always learning, but never doing. And that's the trap. Because you don't get paid to watch or to read a book. You get paid to act. Now, if you're wondering why you should listen to me, it's fair. My name is Fred, and I come from a low middle class family, but it hasn't prevented me from building the business that's made me upwards of $2,600 in a single day. So I do know a thing or two about making money online, and that's why I'd like to share that wisdom with you today. Most people treat making money like a hobby. They want more money. Everybody does, be honest, but they're not serious about it. They're still looking for that one easy trick, that one shortcut, the magic button that will change everything overnight. But that's not how it works. I'd be selling you a dream. If you want to make real money, you have to stop acting like a hobbyist and start acting like a business owner. And the first step is to stop chasing 10 different things at once. You have to pick one business model, one strategy, and one offer, and you need to commit to it. Not for 1 week, not for 1 month. You need to go deep, not wide. When you go deep, you get good. When you get good, you get paid. Now, if you're wondering what the best path is to hit that $100,000 goal, I'll tell you straight up. It's called high-ticket consulting. Now, I know it sounds super fancy, but bear with me here because it's really not complex. Imagine someone has a very big problem that's making their life hell. Like maybe they can't get new clients for their business. It's horrible. Or maybe they're always tired and they keep gaining weight, or they keep getting passed over for jobs. These are real problems that stress people out and keep them up at night. If you can help them to fix that same problem, they will happily pay you. And if that problem is painful enough, they will pay you a lot because it's valuable. Not $10, not $50. We're talking thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. That's what high ticket means. A few people paying you at least $1,000 to $5,000 and even more than that. There's no limit. You don't need hundreds of customers. You just need a few. And that's how you hit $10,000 per month. And if you do that for 10 months, you're already at $100,000. What's amazing with this business model is that you don't need to create a product. You don't need a huge audience to make this work. My audience is ridiculously small as we're talking. You don't need a team or a warehouse or an app. You just need to solve a painful problem in a way that works. That's it. Now, unfortunately, we're not allowed to share everything on YouTube, which is why I've recorded a free video to show you how I made over $1,000 a day in profit from my laptop. And right now, we're also offering a few free consultation calls with me or my team to help you come up with a game plan to reach financial freedom in 90 days or less using the PTP method. Now, I highly suggest you click the link in the description below when you're done watching this video. But be quick, because spots fill up extremely fast and soon we'll be forced to take the video down. So the big question becomes, what problem do you solve? Here's how you figure it out. Think about something you've already solved for yourself. Maybe you lost 30 pounds. Maybe you landed a job after struggling for months. Maybe you grew a small business. If you've done something like that, then guess what? You can help others to do it too. You don't need to be an expert with a PhD. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the person you're helping. That's it. Most people actually prefer working with someone who's relatable, someone who gets what they're going through, not some person who's been in the game for 30 years and forgot what it's like to struggle and to be a beginner. Now, here's where most people mess up. They think they have to build a big brand or spend months designing a super pretty website or making business cards or creating the perfect Instagram page. You want to make money, not be cute. Remember that. So none of these things make you money. You don't get paid for having a pretty website. You get paid for solving problems. So stop focusing on all the stuff that doesn't matter. At some point they did studies, the prettier the website, the less money it made. Insane. So focus on what makes money. That means talking to people who need help, making them an offer, getting feedback, improving your service and closing deals. These are the only activities that actually bring in cash in your bank account. And if you do these things every single week, or better yet, every single day, you will win. And you will make so much money, your life will never be the same. You don't need tons of followers to get started. You don't need to be famous. I'm not. You just need to talk to real people and help them to fix their problems. But even before all of that, your mindset has to shift. You have to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a producer. Here's the difference. Consumers spend money. Producers make money. Consumers watch. Producers build. Consumers are always scrolling and dreaming. Producers are acting and earning. That's why you need to become a producer. Ask yourself, are you spending your time making something valuable, or are you just watching other people do it? You will never make $100,000 by just sitting there and consuming. You have to build something. You have to sell something, even if at first you're afraid of doing so. You have to solve a problem. Let me give you the simplest formula. Plan, market, sell, and build. That's the whole game. First, you plan a solution to a painful problem. Then you market that solution to people who are struggling with it. Then you sell them on why your solution is worth it, and only then do you build it. That's it. You can do this over and over again, and the money will come. And the reason we sell it before we build it is because if it doesn't sell, we don't have to spend months building it, because that would be a huge waste of time. So we're doing it the smart way, as you can see. We're trying to take the least amount of risk possible and make the most amount of money as possible. Now, let's talk about selling, because this is where most people freeze up. They hate the idea of selling. They don't want to be salesy or pushy. But here's the truth. Selling is just helping. You're not forcing anyone to do anything, you have to realize that. You're showing them a path to fix their problem. If you really believe in what you offer, if you know it works, then you owe it to them to sell it. I'm going to be honest with you, the most devastating thing for me, it's not even not getting a sale. It's when I know I can help someone, when I know my product could literally change their life, but they don't pull the trigger. That to me is just saddest feeling ever. When you see potential in someone, when you know they could make it, but they don't pull the trigger because of fear. Somebody once told me the graveyard was the richest part of the planet. Why? Because think about how many artists, how many business people, how many people who could change the world for the better are actually buried in there. But they never even spoke their ideas out loud. It all stayed with them and they died with them. Think of selling like inviting someone to get their life back. It's not sleazy, it's powerful. And no, you don't need to be some kind of super extroverted master salesperson. You just need to be honest, clear, and confident in your offer. People can feel it if you actually care. Now, I want to be clear about something else. You have to take action. Not later, not next week, right now. Most people wait until they feel ready. They wait until everything's perfect, but that day never comes. And while they're waiting, someone else is out there doing it. Don't be that person who spends 6 months planning and never launches anything. That's not how you get to $100,000. You get there by moving fast because other people are doing the same. You have to realize that. So start before you're ready. Make your first messy offer. Talk to your first potential clients and learn as you go. Everything gets easier when you get in motion. I can promise you that. Inaction is the worst thing. It paralyzes you with fear. Now, unfortunately, we're not allowed to share everything on YouTube, which is why I've recorded a free video to show you how I made over $1,000 a day in profit from my laptop. And right now, we're also offering a few free consultation calls with me or my team to help you come up with a game plan to reach financial freedom in 90 days or less using the PTP method. Now, I highly suggest you click the link in the description below when you're done watching this video. But be quick, because spots speed up extremely fast and soon we'll be forced to take the video down. Finally, if you really want to go fast, you have to invest in yourself. People who don't invest in learning stay stuck for years. They make the same mistakes over and over. They try to piece everything together all on their own. And that can take decades if you even manage it. But the smart ones, they find mentors. They take courses that actually help. They join groups of people who are doing what they want to do. Everything I learned it from people who were way richer than me. I didn't just invent it. Successful people surround themselves with winners. and that makes them grow 10 times, if not 100 times faster. So here's a simple rule. Especially in the early stages of your business, reinvest 80 to 90% of it into your growth. Buy books, join programs, hire coaches, learn from people who are already where you want to be. Don't try to figure everything out by yourself. It's slower, harder, and way more frustrating if you try and do it. Because you also never have a guarantee that you will stumble upon the thing that actually works. You might just waste your whole life like that. Most people do. So let's recap. The challenge is to make $100,000 before 2026. And it's doable if you focus, you have enough time. Most people won't do it because they're too busy jumping from idea to idea. They stay in consumer mode. They don't commit. But if you choose one path, you go deep, you solve a painful problem, and you sell a real solution, you will win. High-ticket consulting is one of the best ways to get there fast. You don't need to be a guru. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the person you want to help. So sell with honesty, take massive action, skip all the fluff, and focus on what actually brings in money. And don't be cheap with your growth. Invest in yourself like your life depends on it, because your future sure as hell does. You don't know what you don't know. Now you've got about 6 months to make this happen. It's plenty of time. But time doesn't matter if you waste it. So stop scrolling, stop waiting. Start building, start helping, and start selling. The more you procrastinate, the harder it gets to get out of this vicious cycle. $100,000 is not some fantasy. It's a decision. It's a commitment. But the only question is now, will you actually do it? So look, if you're serious about becoming financially free this year, then click the link in the description below, because I've made a video where I'm explaining how I've been able to make thousands of dollars per day in profit. And right now, we're also offering free strategy calls with me or a member of my team to help you come up with a custom game plan to reach financial freedom in 90 days or less. But be quick, because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. And soon, we'll have to take that video down. So click on the link in the description below, watch the quick video and book your free call. And with that said, I'll see you on the other side.